All right, so we are in the Azure AI Vision Studio. All I did was go to Google, type in Azure AI Vision Studio, and somehow I ended up over here. You can see that I'm not even logged in right now, but if you look at the top here, you'll notice it says cognitive.azure.com because previously the Azure AI services were named Cognitive Services, but obviously there was that marketing name change to make things more AI obvious. But yeah, over here you can see we have a bunch of options. If we want to do something like face analysis, like detect an image in a face, we can click here and we can see that it's giving us some examples. If we want the reference code, I suppose we can click here. It usually goes to the docs. It's not super useful, but we can also check maybe the REST API. Nope, that does not work. But it gives you kind of an idea of like how you would end up utilizing this. But yeah, these all go to the respective API. So if we're using this one, we're going to the Face API. I just want to show you what I mean. So I just want to pull up here portal.azure.com. And if we were to go to, let's say, Azure AI Services here, notice here on the left-hand side, Face API. So that's probably what this is utilizing. If we have, let's say, the OCR, that's going to be the over here on the left-hand side. Do we have just an OCR one? I think it's computer vision, but if we go into Azure AI Services, I'm not sure if I have one spun up right now. I don't. There could be a dedicated OCR API. So if I go here, I'll create one. I just want to show you how they map up, right? Because to me, that was the most confusing part. So computer vision API. And you don't have to create this. I'm just showing you as I go through this. I'm going to go free here, say review, create, and doesn't like something here. I'm just going to put any kind of name. I don't care. What does it want now? It should be fine. Let's go back over to here. OCR. Put some numbers here on the end. Probably didn't like my name. Oh, yeah. Acknowledge that. Review, create. We'll create that one. At the same time, I'm just going to make my life a little bit easier. I'm going to go over here and create one for the Azure AI services. Again, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this here to show you. I was creating that. Well, that one was one I created before. Just to show you what it looks like. Just say Azure AI Vision. Because in other follow-alongs, we'll cover these use cases. Just put some numbers here in the end. Review, create. We'll just give it a moment because I just, again, want to match that up so it's very clear where those APIs are coming from. All right, and so, we're going to go over to that Azure AI service here. And here, down below, we can see all the APIs. It's just a lot easier to look at it this way. So if we go over to, let's say, computer vision, that just has computer vision. And if we scroll on down here, let's say we go to language, that's just language. Document intelligence, it might be this API. It used to be called form recognizer, but now it's called that. Go over to translator. And so I'm not exactly seeing where the mapping is, but it's really important to understand where those things are going because it does get really confusing. I know that we just launched the other one here. I think it was under computer vision. And so, yeah, not exactly sure. It does show Vision Studio here, which is interesting. So if we click through to here, we'll end up in Vision Studio as well. Still says I'm not logged in, which is interesting. But I want to see where that OCR API is coming from here. So we'll go back to this one and we'll click it. And we'll say view SDK reference. And I'm going to go, let's just say Python to make my life a little bit easier. And what is the name of the package? This one is image analysis. So it's coming back to that image analysis one here. I guess my question is, where is that endpoint? Like, which one is it utilizing? And so it's saying vision endpoint, making me think that it's using the computer vision endpoint, which is probably the case here. So let's go take a look at that. So let's just say computer vision API, Azure. And we'll go over to here. Again, we will do this in actual labs, but again, just to help you kind of map that information because it does get really confusing. And so it looks like that, not all of them, but definitely the OCR and image analysis are going to be within the computer vision endpoint, and they may have separate, they may have the same image analysis one or separate ones. But we'll cover that in the content. I just wanted to show you that it's confusing just for me as well. And I've already done the a similar course with this and covered all these services before, but this is just the nature of Microsoft marketing, is that they start to make it very muddy when they're trying to meet everyone's business use case from every angle. And yeah, just showing my confusion to you. Okay, there you go.